Good evening. Welcome to TVB News. The very hot weather warning is still in force. The Hong Kong Observatory says temperatures over many districts rose to 37 degrees Celsius or above, with Shengshui pushing as high as 39 degrees. Amid the increasingly scorching weather, a legislator says the government could exercise more flexibility when issuing heat stress at work signals. Mimosa Ngai reports.
The blistering heat continues to affect Hong Kong. While Tropical Storm Dolphin is weakening gradually, the local mercury remains high. On Monday afternoon, temperatures in multiple districts shot above 37 degrees, including Wong Tai Shin and Shengshui.
Very hot. It feels like, the wind is always, makes it a bit more bearable. We're always granted here in Hong Kong that the AC is very good. So as long as you've got the AC, then you're all right.
I'm just walking. For me, so today is okay walking.
It's okay, but not for running.
No, because it's so hot weather.
The observatory forecasts the heat will persist until the middle of the week before it takes a turn on Friday, bringing a few showers to the territory. Meanwhile, some labour unions call on the Labour Department to review its heat stress at work warning issuance mechanism. This comes after authorities issued the amber warning, the lowest level of the three-tier system, on Sunday, Hong Kong's hottest day on record. A legislator representing the workers says the government could be more flexible when issuing the heat stress at work signals.
If the government continue to use the existing mechanism, because now the heat index reached 32 and the government will issue a red warning signal. But yesterday the situation is extremely hot, but the heat index is only around 31. So there's still a distance to reach a red warning signal, so that whether the government can do some adjustment so that the worker can have more rest time.
Asked if he thinks heat stroke should be added to the list of occupational diseases, Lam also says the government could conduct a review.
While Lam says employers and employees now have better awareness of heat stroke and its consequences, he urges the Labour Department to step up inspections at work sites. Mimosa Ngai, TVB News.
Police arrest a man in suspicion of wounding with a knife at Pok Fu Lam's Baguio villa. The attacker allegedly injured 2 individuals and a cat during the incident. Lena Wang has more.
Internet footage shows a topless and barefoot man wielding a knife, charging at a security guard who later fell to the ground. Another security guard approaches in an attempt to intervene. Police arrived at the scene and arrested a 22-year-old foreign man. What is believed to be the weapon, a fruit knife, was left at the scene. A 61-year-old foreign domestic helper sustained injuries on her neck and back from the alleged attacker. A security guard suffered scrapes on the elbow. Both injured individuals were sent to hospital. Police arrived at the suspect's home and found an injured cat. The SPCA was called to take the feline away for treatment. According to sources, the arrested man has a history of mental illness. Residents of Baguio Villa say the man lives in the neighborhood.
Many times I've seen him. I think the family is helping him. So yeah, it's a personal matter.
I'm just living there. I'm so scared of that accident.
Police is looking into the incident to identify a possible motive. Alina Wang, TVB News.
The police identifies new scamming methods where fraudsters target victims under the guise of transactional relationships. They would then defraud the victims a second time by pretending to be lawyers to help retrieve the money, psychologically exploiting the victims as they fall deeper into the scam. Ani Sultan has more.
Officers of the Cybersecurity and Technology Crime Bureau successfully cracked down on a fraud syndicate targeting victims under the guise of transactional relationships.
In this operation, we arrest 8 local individuals aged 23 to 57, including the mastermind and the key members of the syndicate. And this syndicate is linked to 80 cases reported between February 2024 and July 2026, involving over 6.2 million Hong Kong dollars.
The police says the scammers understand victims' psychology well. They tailor their image to each victim and get in touch with them through social media. They would pretend to offer a monthly allowance of $50,000 to $70,000 and rope in an accomplice pretending to be a lawyer to sign a non-disclosure agreement. They would ask the victims to pay legal fees and promise a refund once the agreement ended, but disappear while the payment is being cleared. They would then reappear under a new identity and pull the victim into a second scam by pretending to be lawyers offering help, claiming they can assist them with retrieving lost funds. Police clinical psychologist Feng Ho Kin says the involvement of lawyers made the victims believe they are safe and caused them to fall victim a second time. The police say to avoid such scams, victims should directly contact reputable law firms. The public could also download Scammeter Plus, an official anti-fraud app operated by the Hong Kong Police Force. The Scammer Plus app analyzes data collected from the police, the public, and private institutions. The app can then send notifications to users when a suspected scam is detected. And this is Xiao Din, TVB News.
The police received more than 100 reports of investment scams last week involving losses of $150 million. The police details one case where a fake investment advertisement tricked a retired teacher through a social media post. After joining the investment group, fraudsters disguising as stock investment experts would lure victims into downloading a counterfeit investment application. The victim followed instructions to transfer funds to various bank accounts more than 10 times over 6 weeks. The account would show the stock price doubling, but the victim could not withdraw any funds, and fraudsters demanded an additional fee, resulting in a total loss of $3.6 million. Police warn the public to never trust investment adverts promising high returns and zero risks. US President Donald Trump says Washington is only semi-negotiating with Iran, noting he is prepared to allow economic pressure on Tehran to mount, as opposed to ordering a new military offensive. This as negotiations between the two countries remain locked in stalemate. Daniel Rao has the story.
According to Axios, US President Donald Trump says Washington is only semi-negotiating with Iran, noting he is prepared to allow economic pressure on Tehran to mount, as opposed to ordering a new military offensive. In a phone call, Trump tells the outlet the White House is low-keying it, adding Iran is in very bad shape economically. Axios noted an agreement governing traffic in the Strait of Hormuz that was negotiated among Iran, Oman and the US has been pending for a few days now. Iranian Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araghchi says the resumption of negotiations between Iran and the US would not be possible unless the latter ends its violation of the Memorandum of Understanding recently signed between the two countries. Araghchi made the statement while speaking to reporters on the sidelines of an event in Tehran, stressing no negotiations are currently underway between the two sides. According to US officials who spoke to the Wall Street Journal, Trump has been preparing to claim victory in the conflict if the Strait of Hormuz reopens, and is even privately mulling over the idea of walking away without a nuclear deal. Meanwhile, US Central Command says more than 20 warships had been deployed to the Middle East to support military missions, including strict enforcement of the US blockade against Iran. In a statement posted on X, CENTCOM says that as of Sunday, it had redirected 55 commercial vessels, disabled 2, and boarded 2 others to ensure compliance with the blockade. Darrell, TV News.
Welcome back. Tropical cyclone Dolphin has weakened into a tropical storm and continues to move inland, bringing heavy rain to multiple areas. Despite its weakening, the remnants of Dolphin remain potent. In Zhoushan, Zhejiang, persistent rainfall continues. Coastal villages in the area experience strong winds and rough seas. Local authorities have kept dangerous sections of roads sealed, and power department personnel has been dispatched for inspections. In Yueqing, where Dolphin made its second landfall, windy and rainy conditions prevailed on Sunday night, with large numbers of tree branches broken off. By morning, the rain slightly eased and crews were sent to clear the roads. Many areas in Jiangsu also saw strong winds and heavy rain. Meanwhile, Shanghai is preparing for heavy rain and strong winds as Typhoon Dolphin moves closer to China's eastern coast, with 5 districts issuing orange rainstorm warnings. In Jingshan District and Fengxian District, workers are bracing for extreme weather as many evacuate to land. At least 12 people have been killed after tropical cyclones Luis and Maymay and the enhanced southwest monsoon hit the northern Philippines, with casualties reported in the Ilocos region, Calabazon and the Cordillera administrative region. Authorities are also verifying reports of 11 injuries and 8 missing people due to the weather disturbances. Alina Wang has more.
At least 4 have been killed, 5 rescued and 7 missing after a landslide hit 3 houses in the northern mountain resort city of Baguio on Sunday. The landslide was set off by days of heavy monsoon rains, which had been intensified by tropical storm Dolphin. Meanwhile, in Caloocan, Metro Manila, video footage shows rescuers traveling by rubber boat through flooded communities as they call on residents to evacuate. In Cavite, Philippine Coast Guard personnel wade through flooded roads as heavy monsoon rains inundated residential areas. Nearly 384,520 families, or about 1.31 million individuals, have been affected across 10 regions. The Philippine government has ordered all agencies to ensure assistance reaches residents affected by severe weather. Alina Wang, TVB News.
Thai authorities arrest a former lawmaker suspected of opening fire outside offices of the Nonthaburi Provincial Administrative Organization in Bangkok. Police say the chief executive of the organization, Thongchai Yemprasert, died from critical wounds at a hospital after being shot in the face and neck, while his driver was shot in the arm and is in stable condition. The suspect, identified as Cholong Rilwang, admitted to the shooting and the motive is believed to be personal. The suspect told reporters he was arguing with the victim over money. He said he followed Thongchai to his car before drawing his weapon. He says he did not intend to shoot Thongchai, but the driver also drew a gun and pointed at him, prompting him to open fire. The Yasukuni Shrine in Tokyo is barring the entry of cosplayers and individuals wearing military attire. Meanwhile, Japanese authorities say whether Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi will visit the shrine on the anniversary of the end of World War II is up to her own discretion. With the 81st anniversary of Japan's surrender in the Second World War approaching this Saturday, Yasukuni Shrine has introduced new rules on its official website to ban visitors from wearing costumes or military attire, which it defines as including military uniforms and equipment. The announcement says the measure is intended to maintain the tranquility and dignity of the sacred grounds where the spirits of the war dead are enshrined, so that all visitors can pay their respects calmly in an atmosphere of peace. The shrine has been regarded as a symbol of Japanese militarism for enshrining 14 convicted Class A war criminals. Some Japanese veterans and right-wing groups dressed in old military attire would gather at the shrine on the anniversary of the end of the war each year. As to whether Takaichi will visit there in person on August the 15th, Chief Cabinet Secretary Minoru Kihara says the Prime Minister will make an appropriate decision on her own. In previous years, as a lawmaker, former Internal Affairs Minister and Economic Security Minister, the image of Takaichi ascending the steps of the controversial shrine was a fixture during the annual spring and autumn festivals, as well as the anniversary of Japan's World War II defeat. However, she did not attend the shrine's autumn festival last October after being elected as president of the Liberal Democratic Party. Nor did Takaichi visit during its spring festival this April as she assumed the premiership, instead sending a ritual offering and paying a monetary fee. China has condemned Japan's negative developments concerning Yasukuni Shrine, blasting them as a blatant provocation to international justice and an affront to human conscience. It warns Japan's emerging new militarism will pose a threat to world peace and stability, and that the international community must resolutely strike back to nip its revival. Queen Mary Hospital introduces Asia's very first adjustable transunturator male system, a device which helps to regulate loss of bladder control for those who have undergone prostate cancer surgery. The device has been applied to 16 cases so far, with hospital staff stressing the system should be expanded to broader usage. Timothy Lee tells us more.
Incontinence, or loss of bladder control, is one of the most common symptoms of post-prostate cancer surgery. In the past, an artificial urinary sphincter would be used on patients who suffer from medium to serious cases of incontinence. But the device often ages quickly, with around half of those who use such sphincters requiring a replacement surgery within a decade. This is Queen Mary Hospital introduces a new device known as the Adjustable Transobturator Male System, which does not require any replacement surgery for users.
It is a sling kind of device with a cushion in the middle. So after we install the or implant the device, so there will be a cushion underneath the outside of the urethra. It will exert a gentle pressure onto the urethra so that it helps with the patients to keep the stress urinary incontinence, to keep the continence in place. We were the first one to introduce the latest generation.
71-year-old Mr. Cheng, who experienced incontinence after undergoing radiotherapy for prostate cancer, says the latest system from Queen Mary Hospital greatly improved his condition. He notes he didn't need to use any adult diapers since undergoing the surgery a year ago. The hospital emphasizes the usage of the device should be expanded to the wider population, adding the incontinence control system could be used on patients who have relevant surgical incisions, are affected on a daily level by incontinence, or require the use of diapers. Queen Mary Hospital staff said future efforts to tackle patients' incontinence include improving methods to completely cure the loss of bladder control, as well as developing less invasive surgery for the condition. The hospital further stressed it will prioritize relevant education for patients suffering from the symptom. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
President Xi Jinping used to work in Fujian province for 17.5 years and set out a 20-year plan for Fuzhou city. Over the past 30 years, Fuzhou's GDP has grown more than 100-fold since the early 1990s. And one mountain village there has quietly become a symbol of friendship between ordinary Chinese and Americans. Jackie Lin with more.
At the heart of the village stands an old well engraved with the words Foreign Local Public Well. It's a quiet testament to a time when Chinese and foreign residents shared the same water source and the same community in a village called Guling in the outskirts of Fuzhou, Fujian province, known to foreigners a century ago as Kuliang. During the late Qing dynasty, around 3,000 foreigners lived here, building villas, clinics, and even a photo studio. One of those residents was an American physics professor who spent 10 childhood years in Kuliang. After returning to the U.S., he longed to revisit the place but could never find the exact location. His widow carried that wish forward. In 1992, then Fuzhou Party Secretary Xi Jinping read about her quest in a letter published in the People's Daily. He invited her to visit Kuliang, fulfilling her husband's dream. 20 years later, as China's Vice President Xi retold the story during a speech in the U.S., reigniting global interest in Kuliang as a symbol of people-to-people diplomacy. During Xi's tenure in Fujian, he spearheaded the 3820 strategic plan with a 20-year vision to double key economic indicators in 3 years for Fuzhou, reach advanced city status in 8 years, and approach mid-tier Asian development levels in 2 decades. The plan included marine development, a university city blueprint, and nearly 300 policies to strengthen cross-strait ties with Taiwan. Preservation also played a key role. The historic 3 lanes and 7 alleys district was saved from demolition during Xi's tenure. Inside, visitors find centuries-old residences, including that of prominent Chinese translator-writer Yan Fu, who translated evolution and ethics into Chinese. Among the highlights are intricate Shoshan stone carvings. Ye Qin, who carries on the intangible cultural heritage of Shoshan stone carving, says, in 5 or 10 years, the stone may run out, but our memory is eternal. As the medium may change, the legacy will endure. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
And that's the news. Thank you for watching.